What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip Off, where we have drinks and we talk all things basketball. We have so much to talk to you about this week. There's been a lot going on in NCAA women's basketball. NBA has been getting kind of live. There's been some suspensions, some fines handed out. There's a lot going on in the basketball world. But first, I'm going to go ahead and bring on my guests. We got Steve Schwanda. What's up, Steve? How are you?
What's up, Queen of Hoops? How are you doing, Megan?
Oh, you got no. There you go. I'm doing really well. What are you drinking today?
The hostess with the mostest.
What are you drinking
What's up,
today?
my girl? I do have some Miller Lite, and I do have a Jaeger bomb ready because Iowa is about to play. So I just got my new shirt. Show everybody.
Okay, let's see it.
So, yes.
There we go.
Yep.
Like it. I like it.
It's almost Christmas vacation watching season too, so we can actually say you're serious, Clark. So we're all good. Waiting for Caitlin to do some work. Paige Becker's doing some work right now. Excuse me, Paige Buckets, call her.
Paige Buckets.
So yeah,
yes,
it's a beautiful Thursday night. It's my Friday off tomorrow. Thank God for 980s. Every other Friday off. Let's go.
All right, so I am going to share the show a little bit, but while I do that, I'm going to bring on our next guest. We got Will Vogel. What's up, Will?
What up?
How are you? How's your week going?
Vogel. I'm good. I'm good. I've been working a lot, but I have to work the rest of the weekend, but I'll have Monday off. But I'm Will Vogel tonight. When I don't drink Miller Lite, I'm Will Vogel. When I drink Miller Lite, I'm Willer Lite. I'll show off my shirt tonight. Not as cool as Steve's, but you got LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward, NBA Jam.
Hey, NBA Jam's still legit. You're good. You're good.
What's up, Jordan? And I'm drinking a Bud Light tonight just because I don't know.
Just because.
I don't have a reason.
All right. We got Coach Dante. What's up, Coach?
Coach.
What's good? How y'all doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
Doing great. Your week is good?
Oh yeah, my week has been very, very special, man. Coming off a big time win versus Cincinnati, Rockets beating the defending champions Denver Nuggets. The Longhorns off to a strong start, off to a very good start.
For sure.
And Baltimore, watching Baltimore. And Caitlin Clark, them about to do Caitlin Clark things. She about to do Caitlin Clark things tonight.
Yeah, she is.
Absolutely. All right, guys. And our next guest, we have Jen Matthews-Lewis. What's up, Jen?
What's up? Hey, guys. How are you?
There we go. We can see your face now. All right. So cheers. I'm actually drinking this show. I have a little bit of wine.
Let's go.
So cheers to the basketball season. Women's basketball has been nuts this NCAA so far. We will actually close the show out with our NCAA segment. But speaking of nuts, there was some drama between between Minnesota and the Golden State Warriors. Got it. and this time, actually, there were no nuts. It was a chokehold. Draymond Green is known for taking it there sometimes. This time, though, this is one instance where I actually don't disagree with what happened with Draymond's actions, like at all, to be perfectly honest. Normally, there's been times he had an issue last playoffs against Sabonis. That was pretty terrible. He stomped dude out in the chest. There was an instance with Steven Adams. That's generally what comes to mind when I think dirty plays and I think Draymond. It's the instance with Steven Adams. It's rough. I actually saw a mixtape of all of Draymond's dirty plays. And I have to say, with that lingering, your track record, I can see how some people go ahead and jump to the conclusion that Draymond was really wrong. I've seen a lot of stuff saying, oh, he should be banned from the league. I think that's crazy. I think hey, Mike, what's up? I really feel like they gave out a disciplinary action, like his fine and 5 games. Like, I actually really agree with that. Like, I felt like it's the perfect amount. He went in, he saved his teammate. And I don't like Rudy Gobert. So let's go ahead and one of y'all go ahead and start us off and let us know what you thought about this. Will, start us off.
Yes, Draymond is notorious for being a dirty player, but he was coming to his defense of his teammate. And the 5-game suspension, I think, is due right. Yes, you're choking a guy, but dude, the guy, Draymond, was defending his teammate from getting hurt any further. And I don't like Gobert either, because ever since he joked around with COVID saying, "Oh, COVID's a myth," and he goes in the press conferences and touches all the mics and says this is a fake disease, blah blah blah. So,
right,
in my opinion, I think a few of us agreed. I think Gobert definitely should have been suspended because Gobert didn't action. Do I think it would have been 5 games? No, it could have been like 3 or 2, but probably 3. But no, I agree with you, Megan. One instance where I get behind Draymond. Yes, the action is inexcusable, but I still would be, if I had to pick sides in the fight, I would pick Draymond in a heartbeat over Gobert.
It looked like they were jumping Clay, so what is he supposed to do?
Were.
Right. Coach, tell us what you thought about this incident.
Like I say, I didn't think, like, I thought Draymond Green, to be honest, I'm gonna be the lone wolf here, but I thought it was unacceptable for him to almost choke a man. I really thought Rudy Gobert was trying to break up the fight, I didn't see Rudy Gobert hands on Clay neck. I really didn't see it. And I think Rudy Gobert was trying to break up the fight. And I just think Draymond is unacceptable with Draymond just got from behind and just damn and choked the man out. I mean, you saw how Rudy Gobert almost was about to tap out when he choked the man out.
He should have stayed out of it.
Draymond had him in a chokehold, but I'm not gonna blame Rudy Gobert for coming up and try to get break it up with his teammate. I'm not gonna try to do that. I didn't think Rudy Gobert.
He didn't go for his teammate though. He went to break it up, and he went and got. He tried to take his arm.
He tried to break up the fight. I thought he tried to break up. I didn't see his hands on the neck.
Yeah, there you go. That's him breaking it up.
Yeah, that's why I thought Rudy Gobert tried to do it. I didn't think Rudy Gobert meant anything about that. I didn't think he meant to put his arms around or nothing like that. I thought he just tried to break it up and be peaceful as he could. And Draymond Green intentionally grabbed him. When Draymond do stuff.
Well, but what we saw, or how I saw it, was it looked like they were jumping Clay, and Draymond came in and was like, "Nah, y'all not fixing to do my dude like that."
Yeah, I didn't see Rudy Gobert try to jump him or nothing like that. I didn't think Rudy Gobert was.
Rudy Gobert has no problem sucker punching his own teammate.
That's a teammate issue. Like, you see your teammate going there, you gonna try to protect your teammate. That between the teammate issue. This is Clay. That's his Rudy Gobert. He accidentally put his hand around Clay, but he's actually trying to break up the fight where Draymond comes behind him. Instead of him trying to break it up, he grabs Rudy Gobert. He intentionally grabs Rudy Gobert.
No, he did Draymond, there's no unintentional. Like, he should stand on absolutely what he did. Like, there was no unintentional part on that. He was saving his teammate from getting jumped on. All right, Jen, tell us.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Coach. I'm agreeing.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine, y'all, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's okay.
Yeah. Now go ahead. You go ahead, Jen.
Okay, so I was reading an article in The Athletic, and I loved what Rudy Gobert said, and I did a little digging, and he was actually spot on. He said, anytime Steph is out of a game, Draymond will do his best to get out of the game too, even if it's being suspended or ejected. So all they did was give him the perfect opportunity. And I did love the other slide. He goes, I mean, if he knew what he was doing and that could actually put me in a chokehold,
Yes,
a sleeper hold, then I would have been worried. He said, but he didn't. And I just held up my hands like this so the refs knew I wasn't doing anything. Because I'm with Coach. I think that he was trying to break it up.
I don't think he can criticize anything when he like glanced off Kyle Anderson's face, and Kyle Anderson is about a foot shorter than him. Like, if anything, if you're gonna do it, you should have did it. Like, I don't. That's just my opinion.
Right. But I mean, he wasn't by any means a victim, but I do think he was trying to break it up. And because like he wasn't trying to choke, like with the picture Steve's been holding up. Hold it up, Steve. I know you got it. Really, Steve, you look really cute tonight. But they but I mean, like he's got one arm around two different guys, like or an arm each around two different guys. Like he's obviously not trying to hurt someone. He's trying to pull them away. No, and he have grabbed them by the waist,
by their neck. He's trying to pull them away by his neck.
Well, breaking it up somehow. But I mean, if you've ever been in a fight or seen a fight. I don't know. And
he's breaking it up with his elbow. He's breaking it up with his elbow. Come on. At least
he got both of them, though. He got both of them. Draymond just grabbed Rudy. He just grabbed Rudy. Rudy grabbed both of him.
Yeah. I think Rudy was just grabbing
and Draymond just grabbed him. Just looked at him and just grabbed him. Now, you think Draymond against Sacramento, against somebody, you didn't think he know who he was stepping on? You didn't think that was
no, hold on. I started it off by saying this is the only time that I have come to Draymond's defense ever. Because in them other instances, it looked like he followed through when he stomped on Sabonis's chest. It looked very intentional when he kicked Steven Adams in the nuts. You know, like it looked incredibly intentional. But so if we go off track record, I absolutely agree. But in this particular instant, I would want a homie like Draymond around, to be honest, if I'm Clay. All right, Steve, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think, Steve.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. I mean, I've known Draymond since he was a freshman in high school.
Right.
You know what I'm going to say. And everybody's exactly right. And yes, it is the pattern. So that's why he is treated this way. And so it's unfair if you look at just this instant. Like his 5-game check that he'll be missing from his 5-game suspension will cost him $769,000. The other 3 people, like the two who started it, Clay and McDaniels, and then Rudy, who was not trying to break it up at all. I don't know what you guys are looking at. Rudy Gobert choked Klay Thompson. And Draymond Green saw this, came running up, and got his guy free. Now, did he hold his choke too long? Yes. Could he have stopped? Yes. Did he go too far?
Yes.
But he was being a good teammate in this particular situation. Rudy Gobert is 7 inches and probably 80 pounds bigger than Klay Thompson and had him by the neck. The picture doesn't lie. I don't know what breaking up fights look like to you guys. That's not breaking up a fight. That's choking someone. And Draymond Green then came in and choked Rudy Gobert. Again, did he hold it on too long? Yes. Could he have stopped sooner? Yes. Could he have done something else?
Of course,
probably.
yeah.
But he was being a good teammate. Now, again, $25,000 compared to $769,000. Not even comparable, right? Now, obviously, makes enough money that $769,000 is 5 game checks. Let that sink in for a second. That's 5 game checks is $769,000. But obviously, still a big loss. But again,
I know Draymond keeps an account separate for his fines. He goes into every single season, and he has an allotted amount, like for sure.
Just for that.
No, he has to. He has to because he gets ejected all the time.
To be a teammate, I know you know him.
No. I'll say this. I think he's always been a good.
Best teammate ever.
I was about to say no. I think he's always been a good teammate.
And Jordan
Poole, what happened with Jordan Poole? What happened with Jordan Poole? I'm gonna be honest with you. I fought Jordan Poole, because Draymond is one of those guys. It's like having Ron Artest on your team. He is dedicated to you and the team. That's who Draymond is. Is he a bad guy? Yeah. But is he one of the best teammates around? I feel like yes, because he's dedicated to you.
Watch Jordan Poole on the Wizards right now. He's proving Draymond's point.
No, Jordan for Draymond to react like that, beyond his performance on the court, I think that whatever he said to Draymond, because he loves that team so much and what's best for the team, I think whatever was said to Draymond, it set him off so much that it evoked that reaction. And I can't say that there may not be something said to me that I might not have that same reaction. You know, like I can't sit there and say that. I'm not necessarily the most level-headed person. Cheers.
But
you're more level-headed than the chicks, except for Candy. You two are most level-headed. Y'all deal with me and Carrie.
No, like,
please.
I mean, obviously, if we're just talking about this example, though, this instance,
right?
Again, I'll say it again. I understand why Draymond's going to be more harshly judged. Completely understand why.
Right, of course.
In fact, he just said it himself like a week ago when he got ejected, and he said these people after all these years are still trying to tell me how to be me. Nobody can be Draymond better than I can be Draymond. Like he even said it, like he is who he is. Like so, I'm sure again, and this is why I ride with him is if you told him the same, like he throws this 5-game suspension. The first game he's back, if the same situation happens, he's doing the same exact thing. And that's
for sure.
That's why he's a great teammate because he would do.
I will say this though, like a couple years ago, I got to go to the WNBA All-Star Game in Vegas. And at the same time, the Team USA was in Las Vegas as well, getting ready for their prelim games or their prelim rounds for the Olympics, right? And so I'm walking through Mandalay Bay. I'm about to go to the All-Star Game. And don't you know, me and Eric, we passed Draymond. And Draymond, saw that we had our press badges on and took it time to talk to us and say hello. Like that doesn't happen a ton. So I feel like who he is on court is a persona. Yep. And we need that. We need that entertainment value.
You need that bad boy.
For sure. It creates those storylines. Bird fans don't love Magic. Magic fans don't love Larry Bird. Like that conflict, those teams now hate each other because of that. And that entertainment value is there. Now, don't get me wrong. The Lakers and the Celtics have hated each other before Bird and Magic. That hate was there for a couple of decades before that. But it definitely took it to a different level. And I think that not that every team needs this, but I think every league needs this. Like it's something that the WNBA had been missing for a while. And I think we have it now. New York fans hate Vegas fans and vice versa. Like it's something I think that has been brought to that league and we're going to see success.
Who would you say?
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and
Megan, who would you say the WNBA version of Draymond is? I was thinking Cambridge, but I could be wrong.
You said
when
who?
She did play the WNBA version of Draymond.
Of Draymond.
I was thinking Liz, but I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, and I don't know. Liz is insane, in my opinion. Literally, I think she's insane. So
I am herself than anybody else.
You said what?
Doesn't she hurt more herself than anyone else?
No, I don't know. Ask Team Nigeria. Ask Team Nigeria how she feel how they feel about Liz.
Yeah, she's done playing, isn't she?
No, she's playing in China. They're paying her ridiculous amounts of money right now just to be Liz. And the thing about Liz is she's going to sit there and she's going to smile the whole time while she's doing what she's doing. Like when she plays ball, it looks like she's happy, but she's just crazy as hell, y'all. All right. So next topic, she is crazy. I'm trying to tell y'all. We'll go ahead and go to the next topic though. Out of the NBA this season so far, now we are about 12 to 11 games in. what have been the biggest surprises out of each conference? So, Steve, start us off.
Okay, I will keep it very short and sweet. Well, I'll try to. I usually don't do that, but I'll try to. In the East, I think the Pacers have been the biggest surprise so far. They're playing really good basketball. I think they're 7-4, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they're playing really good. Yeah, they're playing really good. And then in the West, I mean, I know I mentioned OKC last week as my dark horse, and they continue to play really well. But I mean, I don't want to, steal Coach Dante's thunder, but his Houston Rockets, ladies and gentlemen, are doing work.
Okay,
they're playing. I mean, they're playing well. So props to them. So that would be my East and West at this particular moment.
And who did you say your East was?
The Pacers.
Pacers. Okay. I will say personally, like, I definitely recognize what the Pacers are doing now. And I think that I could say that I almost expected it. So for me, it's not necessarily a surprise because last season when they were struggling, Tyrese Halliburton was hurt. So like, as long as he's on the court, I think the Pacers have a way. So, Will, talk to us about yours.
For the East, I got the Brooklyn Nets. Mikal Bridges is leading that charge. Mikal Bridges is making them relevant again. And you also got, I think Dinwiddie's back there, isn't he? So I would say Spencer Dinwiddie's helping that team too. And then you got role players like Dorian Finney-Smith. You got Cam Johnson. You got Claxton. Yeah, a bunch of role players on that team. It's a good young.
I think Claxton is definitely underrated just because of his size. I think a lot of people overlook him, and I think his athleticism kind of outshines.
They're a good young underrated team. And then, as much as I hate this guy, and we brought him up before, it's the Timberwolves. It's not. Everyone's like, oh, they got Gobert. I'm like, yeah, but guess who the main focal point is? Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards.
For sure.
I think they called him, if I'm not wrong, quoted, and they said, man, this guy could be the next baby Jordan. And I'm like, there's no one like another Jordan. I think that's way too high praise. But my two teams are the Brooklyn Nets and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay. Coach?
Do the team have it can be good and bad, or it just got to be good?
No. Just whatever the surprise is. It doesn't have to be good or bad.
Oh, so my shocking, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go bad on mine because since I've been saying Indiana was gonna be the 6th seed. I had Indiana possibly making a 6th or 7th seed. I knew they were gonna be good if Tyrese Halliburton stays healthy all year. That guy's an all-star. That guy's just bursting on the scene. He's gonna be a stud, man. But I'm gonna go with a bad. I'm gonna say the Chicago Bulls. I think they blow that up this year. Zach LaVine's still upset the way Billy Donovan pulled him in Orlando Magic game last year. How the hell you still upset going 1 for 14, not helping your team out? You can't be upset going 1 for 14, and when you're not helping the team, the coach pulls you and put players in that are being affected. I just thought that questioned Zach LaVine character a little bit. And in the Western Conference, I'm gonna go with Dallas. They're 9-3. And Derek Lively is playing really well, man. That rookie is playing really well, blocking shots, being a rim protector. Even scoring, man. Even scoring above the rim. He's basically doing all the dirty work for the Dallas Mavericks and helping them in the inside of the paint. So I'm gonna go with Dallas, who's 9-3 right now. Minnesota, they're good, but I see it's almost like I've seen Minnesota do that before, and then they just come right back to earth. I think Minnesota just one losing streak away. They're one losing streak away from you talking about them, but trading someone like Rudy Gobert. It's gonna be hard to do that because of his contract. But I'm gonna take Dallas. They're 9-3 right now. They're actually playing better defensively too.
You're talking about my boy Luka. Love my boy Luka.
Dallas was one of mine as well. Hey, Jen. Oh, she's not back yet. There she is. We are doing our biggest surprises out of each conference now in the NBA.
Okay. I would honestly, so from the eastern side, I'd say that I've been I rep the Celtics. I previously did, so I kind of followed up. But I really like Joe Mazzella's what he's been doing this year. Like he's just come onto the court with a newfound presence and like purpose almost.
I agree. That's my second team, so I agree.
Then all my Detroit fans, Austin Thompson, he's doing pretty solid too.
Oh yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he is fun. So I kind of went more for a person than a team. I hope that's okay, because that's
fine.
You know, the sports place I go to do my research told me. So, well, the Wizards killing the Hornets, that was kind of unexpected.
Right, yeah.
Don't remind me.
That's rough. But I mean, both teams are going through what we know them to go through. LaMelo is so special, though. Like every time I watch LaMelo play, I'm just like reminded of like, oh my gosh, he's so good. You know, like it sucks that he is where he is, but
Thanks, Megan.
He's really special. He's fun to watch.
I'll be seeing him for the first time live tomorrow night.
Oh,
so
thanks.
I'm actually going to
the way that he pushes through to the basket and like no matter what creates the shot like that. I think that's what impresses me the most with Melo.
Yeah.
Jen, you get to see Miles Bridges' first game back. Look at you.
Oh,
guess what? We'll be being held up.
I wish I was there to flip off Bridges.
I'll be booing him.
Oh,
I did not chant fire roll at any home game. I will be booing Miles Bridges, and I dare him to stop.
I know that's right.
I dare.
Okay,
him.
so for me, I gotta say the biggest surprise to me in the West is my own team. We have fallen over the last a week and a half or so. We started out kind of hot, won a couple ball games, and I'm talking about the Spurs if y'all don't know, and have since just been struggling so hard. We've been getting blown out left and right. Teams that you would think that we should be a little bit better than. I don't know if I was going for the homer stance on this one and just off getting Wimby. I thought, okay, we're at least going to be like a 500 team. That's what I was thinking. And it's looking like we're going to be below that. I mean, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to enjoy watching Wimby's rookie year. But I definitely thought we were going to win more ball games than this.
Are you going to see Wemby play?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Where's your Wemby?
And then for me, I need to get one. I definitely need to get one. Then for me, another surprise, and I actually both went disappointing on both of them. The Pistons. I know we have talked about, Steve, the areas that I thought y'all improved on, and I still see massive improvements. But I thought it would be coming together and actually be some wins, you know? All right, there we go. Okay, we got a surprise person in. What's up, Anthony? How you doing?
What's up with y'all, man?
What up, man?
Nice.
Holy crap.
How's your week going?
How y'all? I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. Seeing y'all on this thing, man. Like, let me go ahead and make this return one time, man, to the greatest part.
Awesome. So right now, no, you're good, Mom. You're good. Right now we are talking about the biggest surprises out of the NBA season. So like out of each conference, what was your biggest surprise? You want to talk about how bad your Clippers are? Is it surprising?
Oh,
that ain't no surprise, man. That ain't no surprise.
No?
It's much expected. You know, we got to figure out how to blend James in there the right way. He's going to be very beneficial down the line during the season. Once we figure it out, like I agree that we need to have him at a point. Excuse me. We need to have Russell at 2. I think where we're really we're wrong at right now is benching Bones. Like don't bench somebody that's a walking bucket. You know, like he can definitely help us out on the offensive end. I guess they're looking to possibly trade him, which I didn't went through worse. I didn't lost the SGA, so losing Bones is literally nothing worse than that.
I mean, you got PG in return. When you lost SGA, which I mean, I know hindsight is 2020 now because you know some of the results, you know. But at the time, I think you go for that. And as much as you know, I'm an SGA fan, but I think at that moment, it appeared like the right decision. It's not something that I'm really critical of you guys. And the same thing with Kawhi. Like, I'm not really critical of you guys going after Kawhi because at the time, it seemed like the right move, you know. But to bench Bones, man, I agree. I think Bones is just definitely a walking bucket. I love his time that he had in Denver, and why would you trade somebody like Reggie Jackson, who was doing well for you guys at that position, coming off the bench? Why would you get rid of him and his replacement? You're done with him. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah, you know, we did pick up what's his name, Tice or Thies?
Yep.
Thies, yeah.
You know, so that's gonna be cool because we're waiting on Plum Lee to come back from his little sprained hamstring. So, you know, once we get another big in there,
Bumley,
slack.
Bumley.
Yeah, y'all call whatever you want about my players.
Bumley,
King Donut.
I mean, they make it to the league. They just don't do a whole lot.
Come on, man. They doing things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Same for King Donut. He might not score no buckets, but he gonna give me about 5-6 rebounds, and he gonna possibly be up the best player on the team, you know. But other than that, my Clippers, they're gonna be all right. We got a decent coach. He's making dumb decisions right now, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a diehard Clipper fan, so even when they messing up, I'm still rock with my squad, man. We're going on about 23 years, you know what I'm saying? So ain't no turning back at this point. I seen you guys.
So out of
go ahead.
What'd you say? Out of the Eastern Conference, like what has been a surprise for you?
I seen you guys state Indiana. They're probably the most surprising team on the East for me. I have Halliburton on my fantasy team. He's doing me well. You know, he's doing me very well.
Yeah, he is doing really well.
He gave me something like 108 points one night. I was like, all right, my God, like you won my matchup for me.
Right, definitely.
Just a heads up, you didn't give Reggie Jackson his real name, Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, and I heard somebody mention Brooklyn. I have Kevin Durant on my team right now.
That was me.
He's Brooklyn's doing their thing, but as far as a surprise, out of the East, I'll definitely go Indiana.
Okay. Yeah. I ain't mad about it. For the East, for me, I am a little surprised at what Miami has been able to do, considering how much they lost during the off season. They lost a lot of guys. They lost Gabe Vincent. What are you drinking, Aunt? My bad.
Man, you know I got me some Henny. You know I stay with me some Henny.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You know what? I haven't been taking shots lately, but I got a little bit of wine.
Smart woman's good for the heart.
Yeah, definitely. All right. But I was kind of surprised by how much Miami lost, that they're still able to get in there and win some ball games. I thought they would be looking more like a 500 team, and they're looking at, a few games above 500. And I mean, like, just they never miss a beat, no matter who Sproul has on the roster. It's like they just never miss a beat over there. If they're running middle of the pack, it's fine because you still don't want to run across them in the playoffs because that's a tough out. So to me, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but they lost a lot this offseason. So it didn't pick up a whole lot. So that to me was a little surprising. Yeah. All right, let's slide over to
real quick,
NC.
Megan, you're right.
I'm sorry.
They're 7-4. Yeah, they're 7-4, and Miami is. And you're exactly right. I'm victim of it too. Every time I'm like, they can't possibly be this good again, right? And then they somehow They're somehow in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And you're just like, how they win 48 games or 50 games? Like, what the heck is going on? So, props to them. They keep
it's their system. It's their system. They're running the same system.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely their system.
And I used to think Spoelstra was over. I used to think Spoelstra was an overrated coach, but he's a freaking awesome coach. Like, you know, when he had
absolutely.
When he had Wade and LeBron, when he had Wade and LeBron, I was like, he's not that good of a coach. He's just got great players, and I was like, all right, no, I was wrong. He's a freaking awesome coach.
The guys that they go sign in free agency, like the contracts that they pick up that nobody's looking at, the draft picks that they make that nobody's looking at. And I don't necessarily know that their picks are just that outstanding, but they fit their system. Like, because Aunt, you were talking about how their system basketball, very similar to the Spurs. I'm not going to say the same system, but just the fact that they are a system, and that's not as prevalent as it used to be. But in Miami, you got to plug into a system. In San Antonio, you got to plug into a system. That's just what it is. So go ahead and slide over to the NCAA, though. I don't know if y'all want to start with the hot topic because y'all know women's. Y'all know. Go ahead.
I thought we were doing the one headline that's not getting covered.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. If there was one headline that you feel like is not getting enough attention right now, what would it be? Will, start us off.
It's getting little traction. Little traction. But Zach LaVine, that's the question. Will Zach LaVine be traded is the question. Right. It's floated around a little bit because of his upsets, even though he's quoting saying, I think he's quoting saying, don't quote me on it. I think he said he likes playing with DeRozan. But the main question is, like it came out a few weeks ago, is LaVine up for trade?
Okay. Jen, what do you got?
Steve kind of nailed it a little bit on the head, but it's a little more than that. Why do certain players keep getting chances after they do horrendous things, like Miles Bridges, like Draymond Green with the most ejections in NBA history? I mean, why? Draymond Green makes more sense than Miles Bridges, but because Draymond at least has the rings to put behind it, Sure. But 100%. And he didn't try to murder someone. But that's just my thing. Like, Why are you twice? Miles Bridges tried to kill the same woman twice that we know of.
With his child in her arms.
Both times. Yes.
What is she doing? Is she
doing?
Is she backing off
the
charges?
She put the cops on him because he tried to choke her out a second time.
But what I'm saying is, when she goes legal with it, does she make these allegations and then retract them?
Hold on, Anthony. No. Well, first off, this is for when there's a certain point when you hit with those type of things. Like, she had to go get medical attention. So at that point, it doesn't matter how she pursued it because they're involved. At that point, you're at the hospital. The police are involved. Period. They have their own. The police have their own office at a hospital. So as soon as somebody thinks this is an assault or they hear anything like that, they're in your room right away. It don't matter. The state picks that type of stuff up. So, and also, we want to be careful to not victim shame. But I will say, of course, that there are times that you have to look. You definitely need to look these things through and make sure that you have the whole story, because we saw what happened at Baylor. But what happened at Baylor, the reason that happened there is because that culture had been there for so long, and it really was happening that somebody was able to lie. So while I do agree that you need to have the full story and the full understanding of what happened, I don't think that applies when it comes to Miles Bridges as far as giving him any type of leeway. Fuck no.
And I'll say this, I can give you a good synopsis, and if you want, I can give you more details later. But the first time it happened, it was because she supposedly put up a naked selfie on IG by accident. But apparently it was very artistically done, and it was deleted within like 3 minutes when she realized what she had done, right? So it hadn't even really gone viral by that point. That was the first time. And their child was there. There's audio recording of their child there. And he was on Miles' leg, hitting his leg, saying, Daddy, you're being a bad boy. Leave mommy alone. Daddy, stop. Daddy, stop. So for me, what he did, because she spent almost a month in the hospital from that beating, that's attempted murder and child abuse. Then he had done something to her in North Carolina. He lives up in Statesville. And so Lincoln County had an arrest warrant out for him. And I don't know the circumstances behind that. So he turns himself in and they had a court date. So there were several things that happened. So they had a court date.
Right.
And then when they were leaving the court, she had their kids in the car with her in North Carolina. And he started throwing pool balls at her windshield with his children in the car.
Right.
And he told her that he would kill her if she went to the police. Well, he's busting out her window
while having a restraining order. While having a restraining order, he wasn't supposed to have any contact with her whatsoever. I don't know what the stipulations were with their kids.
They were leaving the court.
Supposed to have any. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane on Miles Bridges' part. Okay, let's slide over to the next headline that you feel like is not getting enough attention. Steve.
Oh man, I don't even want to follow that.
It's rough. It's rough. We do it sometimes. We air it out,
Mainly because I've known Miles Bridges for a long time too, and actually have a picture of Miles Bridges and my son from years ago, from back in the day, because he's a Michigan kid as well. I know, but obviously I have not talked to him in many, many years. So even though I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I also have a daughter myself, and obviously I have a sister, and I have a mother, and I have, so all those things. So that stuff bothers me greatly.
Yeah, domestic violence is a whole nother beast,
Yeah, that's
serious. It's not to be taken lightly. I don't take
that.
it lightly.
That stuff bothers me.
Yeah, no, I know you don't. I was just expanding on my point of view on it. I wasn't trying to say that you weren't understanding that.
So, gosh, I'll be selfish then for a second, just because with my Warriors, the fact that they said with Steph's MRI showed no significant damage, but didn't say that it was negative, makes me worry that Steph's going to miss much more than just tonight's game. So I'll just be selfish and think about the team that I am rooting for besides the Pistons. Obviously, I'm a Piston fan too, but I love me some Steph Curry. If you're new to the podcast, I love me some Steph Curry. So yeah, because normally they'll be like, oh, he had an MRI, results were negative, right? But instead is the words that they use were, the MRI showed no significant damage. I'm like, well, what is significant? Does that mean he's going to miss a game? Is it going to miss 2 weeks? Obviously, Draymond's missing the next 5 games. Real quick, I looked it up. So they got the Thunder twice, who are good. The Rockets, who have been playing amazing. Then the Suns. Then this team, the Spurs. I don't know anything about them. Megan? No, I don't know. But then the Kings, and then the Clippers twice. So you're like, they don't have a gimme game in the next week and a half.
Right.
That's to the end of November. There, the Clippers times 2 is the end of November, then the 1st of December or 2nd of December, whatever it is. But so that's their next week and a half. Draymond's missing the next 5. So if Steph misses, 3 or 4 of those, they've already lost 4 in a row. Now, granted, they've been relatively close by 3, 8, 6, and 3. So they've been close. The fact that they lost by 3 to the Timberwolves without Steph, and when Clay and Draymond got ejected in the first minute of the game, and they still only lost by 3 is kind of impressive, I guess. But
for sure, for sure.
But it is a little troubling, especially, I'll be honest, because last week I said, hey, they're 6-3. Their 3 losses are to the Spurs, to the Suns close, to the the Nuggets close, and one bad game to the Cavs. And here we are a week later, they lost 4 in a row. So obviously I'm not crazy worried, but a little concerned, especially with Steph's knee. And he is getting up there in age. And because of how he plays, where he moves constantly, like he needs to be active. He needs to be, healthy. That's what makes him so great is he never stops moving. So a little concerning.
Okay. Coach, what do you feel like is a headline that we're not paying attention to?
That Billy Donovan should be fired, and you should hurry up.
Good job.
Hurry up and rebuild the Bulls because Zach LaVine just unfollowed the Bulls social media. So, and when that happens, the whole team is falling apart. Billy Donovan was never a good coach, was never to me very good coach. I just thought he was more talented than him actually coaching the squad. Now you're seeing his true coaching ability over there with Chicago, his inability to lead the team, his inability to make bad coaching decisions, and that Florida Gators team, the 2-time national champions that he had, clearly talent, both. And he came into a situation with OKC where they were clearly having Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. That's alone that helps you get to the Western Conference Final. But what has he done outside of that with less talent, even with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on the team? Absolutely nothing. So I think the Bulls should rebuild. They should trade. They should just trade Alex Caruso. They should trade Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine. Just let the whole team go and just go into a full rebuild mode. I just think
it's the Bulls, bro.
I just think blow it up, bro. Blow it up.
What up? Yeah, if they keep
the Bulls couldn't do nothing with Tim Floyd.
If they Boylan was terrible. Boylan was absolutely goddamn awful. But if they do keep everything together, what more does it get you? Nothing more but playing tournament. That's really nothing. So I just really, the way the 4-8 start right now, I just think they need to blow it up, and Billy Donovan just gotta be fired for Chicago.
So who do you go get? Let's keep it 100. Who does the Bulls go get? They unless it's Phil Jackson, they ain't really had no success.
Becky Hammond. They could go get Becky Hammond. They could go get Dawn Staley.
I was thinking both of those ladies, Megan.
That kind of just ruffled my feathers a little bit because I see what the Bulls do. Jerry Reinsdorf and them, once their mind set on the coach, they ride that coach until he's no more. And then
they gotta hire my favorite female coach in history, Becky Hammond.
Becky gonna be successful wherever she go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She cut like that. But to go to the Bulls and say that she's gonna fix the Bulls is not the coach, it's the organization, bro.
I will say this. I will agree on the. I will agree on the Billy Donovan tip though. Like the only time that Billy Donovan has had a Coach of the Year nomination, Chris Paul was coaching the team, not Billy Donovan. So that is, I don't know. I don't feel like Billy Donovan has done much, to be perfectly honest. So
I really don't.
Oh, no. And Walter, to address that, I will sit there and say that I definitely want her to go, Becky for sure. I want her to go into the right situation, and Dawn too, because both of those ladies have interviewed for situations where Orlando, like that probably wouldn't have been that great for either one of those.
Do you think
Portland, they both interviewed for Portland.
Do you think Dawn actually goes to the NBA?
I can actually kind of see her in Charlotte.
I think her coaching style translates, but I think she's incredibly happy with her niche there at South Carolina. So I don't know if I actually see her doing that. So
can we get Becky to UConn once Gina retires, please?
But this is my opinion on that.
But at the time, Walter, when she interviewed for Orlando was, like now they're in a better position. But no, 4 years ago when she interviewed for that job, or 3 years ago when Clifford got fired, she, it was not a desirable place to go because Orlando's been in the draft lottery for 20 years straight. So at the time, it was not desirable.
Is Coach
I'm freaking
Bulls
hate
fan?
Orlando.
No, I'm a diehard Houston Rockets fan. I'm a diehard Houston everything.
Okay. I ain't gonna get on you then, because I was like, hold on, this can't be a Bulls fan talking this about the Bulls, because I know how the Bulls be riding for the Chicago.
If I was, they'll be factual though. It'll be factual what I said about them. If it was, but I'm a diehard Houston everything, basically.
Okay, I got you.
So, Ant, do you have a headline that you feel like isn't getting enough attention?
My boy Luka getting on Kyrie for his plan. That's
Okay.
not really being talked about enough. You know, Luka's not a very boisterous person when it comes to like outing his teammates. You know, he's all for the team type situation. So for him to come out and speak about Kyrie of anybody, like since Kyrie been there, him and Luka been rocking, you know, on and off the court. So he's voiced his opinion of him being like disliking the way that he's playing and putting it out. Nobody's really talking about it. I think I heard it like for 30 seconds probably on ESPN. You know, I read about it, but it's not really being talked about.
Right. For me, I feel like the biggest headline that's not being talked about is that soft-ass center that got traded to Portland, DeAndre Ayton. I think you need to put his stats on blast. Just roll them 24/7.
Ain't even putting up good numbers?
No, that's the point. He ain't putting up good numbers.
He's a certified, bona fide bum.
Dang,
I don't know if he's a bum. It's like he's just like he forgets that he's 7 foot tall and doesn't crash the rims whatsoever. So, and then over there in Portland, it's been nothing but, I mean, just apps. I don't know if being in Phoenix made DeAndre Ayton look better, and he still ended up get trading because he couldn't be assertive enough. And then now in Portland, we're really seeing what he's made of. Charmin. I feel like out them for that shit, you know?
Right?
That's what I feel like.
Anthony Towns are made of the same material. Charmin.
No, I absolutely agree. Okay, so
I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we're going to move to our last topic, and that's going to be the NCAA upsets. What has been the NCAA, whether it's 1 or 2 or however many upsets you want to talk about? What's been the biggest upset that you wanted to talk about this season? Let's see. Coach, start us off.
The biggest upset I really seen this year is, Angel Reese in Colorado beating LSU. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think that's good for LSU though. I think that's kind of good for LSU. I think they'll be fine down the road. It's just how good I think Colorado is now going to be, and how good they're going to be. Baylor just beat the other night Utah. A very good Utah team was competing.
Very good game.
I thought LSU needed that. I think it's going to take some time for LSU to get going. But I think Colorado beating up on LSU in a matter that they did it by double digits. I just guess LSU came out, thought they were going to run past them, and Colorado didn't have none of that. So I think for us ladies, that's the biggest upset. And then you had also James Madison over Michigan State. I think those are one of those teams. James Madison is one of those teams. When they get into a tournament, they can make a run. We've seen so many surprising teams like San Diego State last year. You've seen Florida Atlantic last year make the Final Four. I think James Madison is a really good basketball team. If you see them in the tournament, they could be a tough out. They can upset somebody.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass on this topic too, but I got a question. Do you think adding Van Lith, you think that's part of their learning curve, adding her to the team?
No,
I think that's go ahead, Miss Megan.
No, I disagree. I think LSU is completely imploding in front of our eyes. I don't know if you are a part of the WNBA Twitter community, but they are blowing LSU up at this moment. They're criticizing HBL for joining LSU. They are Flo J and Angel's mama's getting into it, supposedly. They're saying that Angel was possibly failing for her, and they tried to cover it up. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot going on with LSU right now. Some people are just all of a sudden. I'm not sure. But also it's like now suddenly people are starting to remember that Kim Mulkey's not a very good human being. So yeah, like her time at Baylor, there are some question marks about that culture there in Baylor. And she, just like she chose not to speak up for BG, she chose not to speak up for what was happening to women there at Baylor. So I will always have that opinion of her because I am a woman. And don't get me wrong, I acknowledge her excellence because she is an excellent coach. She is a proven winner. But she's not a good human being. So
but at what cost?
No, that's what I'm saying. She's not.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying she's a proven winner, but at what cost?
Yeah, she's a lot like Brian. Incidentally, it's great that she's at LSU because she's a lot like Brian Kelly, a good coach, terrible human being, just an absolute horrible human being. So it works out perfectly. Yes. So yeah,
you said it works out.
But
All right.
She can win a national championship. Brian Kelly, can't win a national title with how many good teams that he's had. It's hard to say. Brian Kelly is a good coach. I agree with you on that. But as far as winning the big games, at least he can win the big games.
Hey, he won a couple of D2 national championships, Coach down there, right? At Grand Valley State, all right?
Not D2. All right, Will, talk to us about one of the bigger upsets that you enjoyed.
Coach hit him on the head. But I'm going to go different routes because he did the ones I was going to name. NC State beating my UConn girls hurt me really, really, really bad.
Yes.
That one really, really hurt. But you know what? We bounced back and we beat Maryland tonight. I'm sorry, Joseph. Great game, but man, Paige showed out.
Yeah, she does.
We bounced back strong. The neck for the men's.
Okay.
Like I said, I would have done the Michigan State one. I'm going to do UC Irvine beating number 16 USC. Yes, it's not a top 5 team, but you know why I chose it? Because they're in the same state and they can say, hey, we got a leg up on you. They're both in California. So a little trash talk in the state of California going on between UC Irvine and USC. And Megan, one last thing. I've got a question for you after the show, but I'll just ask after the show.
Okay. All right, Ant. What was your favorite upset in the college world?
I'm gonna pass on this because I rarely.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? If it ain't my Arizona Wildcats on the basketball side or FSU on the football side, I don't even be, tapped into the college like I should.
For me, mine's going to be a little bit of sarcasm, y'all. I had a homie on the timeline there in Twitter that said Clemson was going to complete the biggest upset of the year this season playing USC. I believe they got beat by 60 some odd points. So while that did not happen, I just want to shout out that freezing cold take. Jen, go ahead.
First of all, Clemson, thank you for making the ACC look solid in football. Please step back and let our basketball schools do basketball.
69 points.
That's
69 points.
They're not a basketball school, Steve. So I was doing some research. Thank you, Megan, for pointing me in the right direction. But I really like the fact that South Carolina beat Notre Dame after Staley did lose 5 of her starters to the WNBA last year. And correct. Notre Dame is supposed to be fire this year. So that's just how they started out the season. They've been following up pretty solidly too. And then, there have been some really good things that have been going on, some really good games. I think Coach mentioned the Colorado LSU upset, which I thought was kind of funny. Look at Deion spreading his magic to other teams. There you go, Kevin. That just gave you a shout out. But so that's what I have right now. I'm gonna go back because I haven't done anything research on WNB or women's basketball as I should have done. I apologize.
No worries. All right, Steve.
Well,
what you
first
say?
of all,
Will, someone's mic is cracking.
Will, first of all, you're being too nice. It wasn't a great game. UConn beat Maryland by 32. All right. I mean, they were down 10 at one point, then went on a 24-2 run and blew them out. So that's bouncing back in a huge way.
For sure.
Megan will speak more on this, but the Big 12 in women's basketball does not get enough credit. Baylor showed that just beating Utah, right? Like Big 12's legit. Obviously, I'm up here in Big 10 country, so I focus on Iowa and Indiana and Ohio State and Maryland, and that the top of the Big 10 is pretty good. The Big 12 is really legit. Obviously, on the men's side, yes, James Madison beating Michigan State. I've heard about that a lot because I live 45 minutes from East Lansing. So I've heard about that ad nauseum. Of course, then they lost to Duke again because Michigan State can't beat Duke. It's like ingrained in their souls. They can't beat Duke no matter what. I think Izzo's like 3-11 or something like that all time against Duke. It's something ridiculous. And Coach K's not even there anymore, and he still can't beat Duke. But yeah, girls tournament, which by the way, right now it's early, but they did beat him last year in Kansas State. And I'm just saying, I was only up 1 at halftime against Kansas State. So that has a potential of being a very big upset. But yeah, the women's Paige Buckets did her thing. South Carolina, they're blowing out top 10 teams by 30. They're not winning games. They're destroying. Who knew that South Carolina minus 33.5 would be the easiest bet that I made tonight? I was like, yep, that's easy. Done. Free money. South Carolina minus 33.5, free money. Yeah, that's great not against, Texas A&M Corpus Christi School of the Blind. Against Clemson, against another Power 5 school. Minus
their rival.
Yep, done. So, yeah, they make it. And I still, though I agree with Megan, I hate Mulkey as a person. I do think LSU will be fine as a basketball team.
They will.
Oh no! Then Joyce committed. Joyce committed to SC. It's been drama over there at LSU this week.
Who is the one who committed to TCU?
Haley. That's a TikTok Cavender. Star. That's a TikTok star. Will, don't worry about that.
Oh. She can play ball. She can play. No, she can play ball.
Can she really?
Yeah, she can ball.
Yeah, her and her sister were on.
She's the much better of the twins. She can ball. Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, Steve, I want the belt to ass that South Carolina put on Clemson. If they played 100 times out of 100, that same team, South Carolina will beat them every single time. That's how good South Carolina is. That's how throttling they not. These are ranked teams that they're whooping on by 30, 40. That's just I will start to think if LSU those match up, it ain't looking good for LSU right now. If they match up, it ain't looking good right now for South Carolina.
Well, South Carolina beat LSU by 35 last year.
Yep.
When LSU won the national championship,
no, they did. They did.
The difference for me though, I think South Carolina's improved on jump shooting. Last year, they really couldn't even shoot the ball. You can defend them last year because you knew they were going to go in the paint. You knew they were going to out rebound you. Right. You knew they couldn't shoot. This year with that transfer coming over from USC, one of the top shooters in the country came over there. For Whaley does help them out. Yep. They got better shooters. Yeah. They got better shooters this year. Now with Raven Johnson being able to shoot the ball a little bit more better than when she shot it last year, I think that's the scary problem for South Carolina that teams will have to deal with.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up for us tonight. Does anybody have any final shout outs before we go?
Nope.
Anybody? All right. Well, I guess that does it for us tonight.
Hey, it's great to see everybody. Jen,
It was.
Yes.
And
glad to see everybody.
And coming in, big time.
Awesome. Man, I'm not gonna come on this show and not give my praises to my best friend, Miss Megan, Queen of Hoops, holding it down for the past
Love
2
you.
weeks. Man, bro, it's been a minute.
you.
I've been MIA, but I've been paying attention. I've been supporting, always shouting out the podcast. Jen with the pen, you know, I love me some forehead.
Yeah, I love you too. Man. You are awesome.
Big Will, I rock with y'all, bro. Steve,
Yeah.
I'm new to coach, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to know you as well. I missed the show. I will be back more often. I'll be doing my daddy thing now, you know, but I will be back showing my face. All my friends been mad, I've been MIA. Ones that just watched the show been hitting me up. So I will be back, bringing some sauce and a little bit of ghetto back to the sip off. It needs a little bit of this ghetto-ness.
Right. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. That does it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody that commented, shared the show. We appreciate you guys. And we will see y'all not next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, but we will see you the week after.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
See you.